uvāca taṁ tathā kṛpayāviṣṭam aśru-pūrṇākulekṣaṇam viṣīdantam idaṁ vākyam uvāca madhusūdana. Madhusūdana, Kṛṣṇa is described here as Madhusūdana, the killer of the demon Madhu-kaiṭabha-ari. So, Arjuna was attacked by a demon of forgetting his duty, being too much afflicted by bodily relations. This is our position. In this material world, we are so much attached to this bodily relationship that it is to be considered just like we are ghostly haunted. In a poetry, Prema-vivarta, it is said that piśācī pāile jena mati-cchanna haya, Māyā-grasta jīvera sei daṣa upajaya. Māyā-grasta jīva. Māyā-grasta, Maya means illusion, hallucination. So, we are in this material world, we are all illusion. Illusion means accepting something as fact which is not. Something, just like in dream, we see sometimes I am attacked with a tiger. My head is being cut off. So many things. So actually there is no tiger. My head is not being cut off, but still I am crying. Oh, here is a tiger, here is a tiger. So, our attachment for this world is like that, it is illusion. I am thinking that without me, everything will be spoiled. My presence is required, and so on, so on. Just like sometimes our political leaders, each and every one of them think that without him, the whole situation will be spoiled. Even Mahatma Gandhi, he was so attached that he would not retire from political life unless he was killed. The attachment was so strong. But after passing away of Mahatma Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru or so many big leaders, the world is going on. There is a Bengali proverb that when the king dies, it does not mean the kingdom stops. The kingdom goes on. But when so long the leader or the person in charge remains there, he thinks that without me everything will be spoiled. This is called Maya. This is called illusion. According to Vedic system, therefore, there is forced renunciation. Nobody wants to return from family life, but the Vedic injunction is that after one has passed 50 years, he must leave his family life. Panchasadham vanam brajet. In the beginning, as a student life, he is trained up, brahmachari, undergoing severe austerities, penances, and taking instruction from the spiritual master about the temporary existence of this material world. In this way, he is trained up very nicely. And even after training, if he appears to be attached to this material world, he is allowed to go home and marry. And some of the brahmacharis are allowed to remain noistic brahmachari without going home and accepting a wife. But one who cannot, he is allowed to accept wife and become a householder and remain there for 25 years, because generally the brahmachari was going home at the age of 24 years, 25 years. So after marriage, he may get a child. So living there for 25 years means the child is grown up. Then the husband and wife takes leave, not living for good, but vanaprastha, traveling in pilgrimages like Vrindavan, Prayag. That was the system. And after 2 months, again he comes back and he remains home. For another 2 months, again goes out. In this way, the whole process is how to give up attachment from this family life, from this world. And when he is trained up fully, he takes sannyas. That is our Vedic system. So, the attachment of this material world is very strong. That is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam by Rishabdev. Pungsang striyami thuni bhavami tat. This whole material world is an attachment of male and female. Pungsang striya. Mithuni bhava. Sex impulse attachment. Tayor mitha hridaya ganti mahu. And when they are married, when they are united, then it becomes a hard knot in the heart. Atat grihachetu sutapta vittai janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Then gradually, after being united, one becomes attached to griha, home, apartment, kshetra. Formerly there was no industry, so everyone must have some land to produce food. Griha, kshetra, suta, then children, apta, friends, vitta, then money. Because without money, nothing can be maintained. Atagriya kshetra sutartha vittai janasya moha. He becomes more and more illusioned. And aham mameti, this is my country, this is my family, this is my house, this is my children, so on, mama, mine, and I am this person, I am this body. This is illusion. So, Arjuna appeared to be illusion. So how I shall fight with my brothers and grandfather on the other side? He became so much illusion. Tathā kṛpayāviṣṭam. He became illusion, not unnecessarily. He was very much compassionate with his family members. Kṛpayāviṣṭam. aśru-pūrṇākulekṣaṇam. And he was crying there was tears in his eyes. Viṣīdantam idaṁ vākyam. And he was lamenting in this way. How shall I fight? So Kṛṣṇa then began to speak. Kṛṣṇa saw that my friend Arjuna has become too much illusion. So he wanted to kill the demon of illusion. Therefore he is mentioned here as Madhusūdana. Kṛṣṇa comes, he has got two business. Paritrāṇāya sadhana, vināṣāya ca duṣkritam. Side by side, giving protection to his devotees. Sadhu. Sadhu means devotee. Devotee of Kṛṣṇa is mentioned in the Bhagvat Gita as sadhu. Apiche sudurācara bhajate mam ananna bhāva. Sadhureva samantam. One who is strictly a pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa, he is mentioned as sadhu. Sadhureva samantam. Sammak vavasita he is. He is first class sadhu. Even if he is a grihastha, it doesn't matter. Generally we understand sadhu means with saffron cloth. No. Sadhu's qualification is that he must be a pure devotee of Kṛṣṇa. Sadhava sadhu bhūṣana. Sadhava sadhu bhūṣana. So now Kṛṣṇa speaks. See, Bhagavan uvāca. Bhagavan. This Bhagavan means one who is full with 6 kinds of opulences. He is called Bhagavan. Vaisajyasya, samagrasya, bijasya, jasasya, sriya, jnana, vairāgyasya, sarayati bhagangana. Bhava. Bhagavan and Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa means all attractive. Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Sayam. There are other great personalities. Lord Shiva is also sometimes described as Bhagavan. Similarly, Lord Brahma, Narada, others are also sometimes described as Bhagavan. But real Bhagavan means Kṛṣṇa. They are Bhagavan partial. All these things have been very much carefully analyzed by Srila Rupa Goswami. He has analyzed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which we have translated into English, Nectar of Devotion. He has analyzed that Kṛṣṇa is 10% Bhagavan. And Narayan is 94% Bhagavan. And Lord Shiva is 84%. And all other living entities, we are minutely 78% Bhagavan. That means when you come to the perfection of life, when you are actually in the spiritual state, then you have got the qualities of Bhagavan in minute quantity, but not all the qualities, 78%. These have been very nicely analyzed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And the Shastra says also, Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Sayam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a list of all the incarnations. Such and such incarnation appears for such and such particular activities. In that incarnation list, there is name of Lord Ramchandra also, Lord Buddha also. Buddha's name is also there. But in the conclusive portion, it is declared there, ete chansakala pumsa Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavansa. In the, at least the name of Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram is there also. But the conclusion is given by Vyasadeva that except Krishna, all others, they are a plenary expansion of Krishna or part of plenary expansion of Krishna. Angsha Kala. Angsha means direct expansion. And Kala means expansion of the secondary expansion. So it is concluded there that iti chansha kala punsa, all these incarnations, they are either angsha or kala. But Krishna, the name Krishna, Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Swayam, he is the original personality of God, Krishna. The same thing here Vyasadeva described, Sri Bhagavan uvāca. He is not ordinary person. Bhagavan speaking. Bhagavan means, what is Bhagavan? Aśarja. Aśarja means richest. Nobody can be richer than Bhagavan. We have got our ideas of richness. I may be rich, but you are richer than me. Somebody is richer than you, somebody is richer than another. You go, make proceed. When you find out the final richest person, that is Bhagavan. Aśarjasya samagrasa, all riches. Not that partial. One may have 1,000, another may have 1 lakh, one may have 1 crore. But nobody can say that I have got all the monies. No, that is not possible. But Bhagavan has all the monies. Aśarjasya samagrasa, bijasya, similarly strength, bodily strength or power. Aśarjasya samagrasa, bijasya, jasasya. And similarly, reputation. We are also reputed. But nobody can be reputed than Krishna. Just like 5,000 years ago, he spoke this Bhagavad Gita, and he is so reputed that Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, and still it is running on, not only in India, but we are traveling all over the world. There are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita. So he is so reputed. So aśarjasya samagrasya bijasya jasasya sriya, and beautiful, the most beautiful, Krishna, most attract. Jasasya jnana, knowledge. Now, Krishna's knowledge, there is no limit. Still, the knowledge, the book of knowledge which he has given, this Bhagavad Gita, there is no comparison. There is no second book in the whole world which contains so full of knowledge. So, jnana and vairagya also. In spite of all the property of Kṛṣṇa, Krishna doesn't care for this material world. He is busy in the spiritual world. Radha Madhava, Kunya Vihari, he is busy in Vrindavan. He has many servants, just big man, has got many secretaries, servants, they look after. Similarly, in this material world, he is the representative. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, they are managing the affairs of this whole universe. But he is enjoying and Vrindavan. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. He has no concern. He doesn't care what is happening here. But it does not mean that he doesn't care, but he has no anxiety how the things are being managed. When it is mismanaged, then sometimes Kṛṣṇa comes in his Vāsudeva form, not the original Kṛṣṇa. Original Kṛṣṇa never leaves Vrindavan. Padamekam nagacchati. He is always in his abode. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kalpa vrikha lakhabriteshu surabhi rabhipalayanta Lakshmi sahasra sata samrama sevvamanam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajam. He is very much adhered to his cows, surabhi rabhipalayanta, and is surrounded by hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune, these gopis. He is surrounded. Lakshmi sahasra sata samrama sevvamanam. We are here praying goddess of fortune to have some favor. But in the spiritual world, Kṛṣṇa is served by hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune. This is Kṛṣṇa's position. So, I do not know why foolish people, they do not understand what is God. Everything is there. And he comes also personally. Not only the God's name, address, activities and everything is there, but he comes personally also. He proves, Kṛṣṇa, he proves that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Kṛṣṇa was present, he proved all these things. Aisarjasya samagrasya bijasya jasasya sriya. He proved. He had 16,000 wives, and each wife a big palatial building of marble, bedecked with jewels and garden with parijat flowers. These are descriptions. Nobody can maintain 16,000 wives in 16,000 palaces. Not only that, not that if he enters in one palace, he lives with one wife, the other wives are vacant. No. He expanded himself into 16,000 forms. And with each wife was living comfortably. Each wife had 10 children. And those children also had each children, grandsons. In this way, Kṛṣṇa's family was more than 1 crore, Jaduvanshi. So, if you study from material point of view, when Kṛṣṇa was present, he proved that he is Bhagavan. And Bhagavan means not a big beard and meditation. Kṛṣṇa never became Bhagavan by meditation. He was not a manufactured God. He is God, always. He is not manufactured. When he was on the lap of his mother, Jashoda, he was God. The Putana came to kill him, but Kṛṣṇa killed him. In this way, if we read the life of Kṛṣṇa, he is proved Bhagavan. Not only he proved himself, but all others, great authorities, accepted him Bhagavan. There are 4 Vaishnava acharyas in the recent years, and one Māyā-grasta acharya, Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya also, although he is inclined to the impersonal feature of the Lord, but he accepted Kṛṣṇa, sa Bhagavan Sayam Kṛṣṇa. He accepted. Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayana. Narayana Bhaktya. So, other Vaishnavacharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhyacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, lately Lord Chaitanya, all of them accepted Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of God. And Arjuna, he also, when he heard from him Bhagavad Gita, he accepted him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parabrahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusam Shasatam. So Kṛṣṇa is accepted universally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why people are making research, where is God? I do not know. Why they are uselessly taking so much hard labor to search out God. Here is God, Kṛṣṇa. Bhagavan uvāca. So, there is no reason, there is no the chance of not accepting Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Personality of God. Kṛṣṇa personally says that matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. There is no more superior element above me. Aham sarvasya prabhava. I am the origin of everything. Aham adi devanam. Then there are so many statements. Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of God. So anyone who is actually serious about understanding about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no difficulty. But because we are obstinate, because we are sinful, because we are lowest of the mankind, because our knowledge has been taken away by Maya, and because we are atheists, we do not accept Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Personality. Otherwise there is no reason. Kṛṣṇa therefore describes namāga duṣkitanam mūಢā prapaddante naradhama. Unless one is duṣkritina, always miscreants, full of sinful life, he cannot deny Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is preaching all over the world that you are all advanced in civilization and advanced in scientific knowledge and advanced in everything, but you are missing one thing, God, Kṛṣṇa. So here is God, here is Kṛṣṇa. You try to understand Kṛṣṇa and be Kṛṣṇa conscious and make your life successful. That is our propaganda. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
May I ask you one question?
Yes.
When there is bhajan singing,
Yes.
which I can understand the words, the bhajan
Hare Krishna.
or any
Yes.
bhajan of God,
Yes.
when you say understand language and everything, you see if it is just like Mirabai, then crying, tear comes from my eyes, and he is laughing, very instant laugh.
Yes.
And there
Then
is no
God-
further progress.
There is Ashtasattvic vikar.
Sattvic.
Yes. That is called vikar, transformation of spiritual platform. Yes.
There is something more.
No, that is it. When one cries,
Yes.
transformed, that means he is realizing
Yes.
Kṛṣṇa. He is
Yes,
realizing.
yes, right.
That is realizing.
Yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to do that.
Yes.
That is high stage, Mahabhava.
Bhava. Yes, just immediately.
Yes.
So when I go in bhajan, you see, I wash my mouth, everything. feel myself that there is only soul, no body, and you see the man who sings or who are present, you see, they are also no body, but
Yes,
simply
forget
soul.
all material.
All these things,
Yes.
and then these things come.
That is perfection, liberated state. Yes.
Have you explained anything about this in your Gita in 15, you see, these 3 books?
Gita is just to understand what is God.
God.
And then when you are actually engaged in God's service, these things come. That is higher stage. Gita is the ABCD of understanding God.
So it will give some more reflection.
Yes, but if we accept the ABCD,
Yes.
then we come to literature, then we pass any examination.
Yes.
So Gita is the preliminary step, first step
Yes.
of understanding God.
I am reading Gita from my childhood, so I like Gita. You see, Gita.
Very good.
Yes. So I think yes, your Gita will give some more, you see, reflection.
Yes, I am explaining as it is. I am not interpreting.
Yes.
That is, so it is being accepted.
So I should read it. So just
Thank
that is
you.
English, and I should use it.
Very good.
Very good.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, let us discuss. Ah. Ah.
So, if we do our work so perfectly, we can't do it. Otherwise, then why it is necessary? So I am an imperfect devotee. But the question you see, everyone doing all the sense morning to night, all the worldly duties sincerely and honestly to our capacity. Why it is necessary or inevitable? So I am a Brahmin, I am daily worshipping God. But why it is necessary? It is you must do every now and then ajanas.
Yes, if your life is so made that in every step you are feeling presence of Kṛṣṇa, then it is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That is the first class yoga, as it is confirmed by Kṛṣṇa. Yogināmapi sarvesāṁ madgata antaratmana siddhyaman bhajati jumāṁ sami yukta tamo. Just like these boys, they are being trained up to think of Kṛṣṇa 24 hours. Kirtaniya sadahari. They are, just like we have constructed this pandal, our business is to preach Kṛṣṇa. So the energy employed for constructing this temple, that is also Kṛṣṇa, that energy. Somebody is doing anything, nidbandhe Kṛṣṇa sambandhe yukta vairāgam uchyate. If our activities are always adopted for Kṛṣṇa's satisfaction, that is called vairāga. Vairāga. A man is engaged in business, that's all right. But if the fruit of that business is meant for Kṛṣṇa, then sakarmana tamam bhaj. That is sakarma. Generally, we work for our sense gratification. I have got this money, I must use for my sense gratification or for my relative sense gratification or for my country's sense gratification, for my society's sense gratification. This is materialism. But when the same thing is turned for Kṛṣṇa's sense gratification, that is spiritual. That is the difference between prema and kāma. Kāma, it has been very simplified by Kaviraj Krishnadas Goswami in his Chaitanya Charitamrita. Atmendriya tripti vancha tar naam kam. Atmendriya tripti. If you want to satisfy your senses, that is called kam, lust. Krishnendriya tripti vancha dhare prem naam. The same thing, when you try to satisfy the senses of Kṛṣṇa, that is called prema. So we have to divert the activities for Kṛṣṇa. That is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That's Arjuna. Arjuna, he, in the beginning, he denied to fight. That our subject matter, he was crying, no, I cannot fight. So apparently Arjuna was very nice gentleman, that he is forgetting, he is clean over the kingdom, he is non-violent, he is not willing to fight with his brothers, and he was crying so compassionate. So from materialistic point of view, he was very nice. But immediately, as we will begin tomorrow, Kṛṣṇa says that, why you are thinking like Anarja? Anarja-justam. This kind of thinking is not for Aryans, it is for the non-Aryans. It is not. And the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna to make him Arya. And at the end, Kṛṣṇa inquired from Arjuna, what is your decision? Yatecchasi tathā kuru. But Arjuna replied, Karishe tad vachanam. Karishe vachanam. Now I shall fight. And Kṛṣṇa gave him certificate. Bhaktosi, priyosi. You are my dear friend and my great devotee. Now, fighting is not very good business, killing. But sometimes, by killing, one can become a great devotee of Kṛṣṇa. He was a warrior, fighter. His business was to fight. But he fought for Kṛṣṇa, and then he became a devotee. That is sakarmana. Arjuna, Brahman, Kshatriya. Similarly, our means sakarma, guna karma, vibhāga. According to Vedic system, there are 4 divisions. Chatur-varṇam Māyā-grasta guna karma vibhāga. Not by birth, but by quality and actual activities. So, there are Brahmanas, there are Kshatriyas, there are Vaishyas, there are Shudras, there are Brahmachari, there are Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. So everyone should be engaged to satisfy Kṛṣṇa. That is the whole philosophy. Sakarmana tamabharcha. You work as Brahmin, you work as a Kshatriya, you work as a Vaishya or Shudra, it doesn't matter. Even Kṛṣṇa has advised that even if you think that I am working as a Vaishya, it is not very good, because sometimes I have to speak lie for business sake, and Brahmana's business is very nice. No. Kṛṣṇa's advice, sadosam api nattajit. Even in your profession there are so many faults, you should not give it. You should go on. But the result must be given to Kṛṣṇa. That is the secret. You may work as a Brahmin, as a Kshatriya, as a businessman, as an engineer, as a doctor, as a warrior, whatever you may be, it is never condemned. No work is condemned. Every work is dignified, provided it is meant for Kṛṣṇa. That is Kṛṣṇa consciousness.